find the raid leader. We whisper to them, "May I have raid lead, please?" I find spec here for Alterac Valley, which is based on Starfall, Moonkin Aura. Mark up my guildies. Gotta jump out front, get close to the gate there. Start giving commands. Defend towers. Ask my guild to come with me to Stonehearth Graveyard, which is the most critical point on the map. People are into the Galv thing, so they turn left here, which is good. But the goal is to, for I think a successful opening now in 7.1, you take Stonehearth Graveyard. And really, this strategy is applicable for any game that's not going to be a Zerg. I've seen some tanks able to handle 2 towers up. That's rare. You got to have a real coordinated team, I think. Normally, I grab that graveyard. That is Stonehearth Graveyard, just for your information. A couple stragglers. So right now, we are at Icewing Bunker and Stonehearth Graveyard. What I think is called Icewing Pass, one of 2 bottlenecks on the map. And what we're trying to do is take this one bottleneck, capture Icewing Bunker, and try to hold this as the defense starts killing the Alliance for the first time. So the point is to kill all 40 Alliance once, south of Icewing Bunker, so they all spawn north of this point. At that point, they can be contained and you can grind out a win. I think that's the best strategy for a consistent win in Alterac Valley. But I'm going to just start, as you watch the game progress, you know, I know we need to deal with Melinda, Snowfall Graveyard. It's not simple to just purge the Alliance completely from the south. We've got to backcap towers, so the defense is working hard to kill people. And I'm trying to keep them focused on the towers because the towers are worth everything. Secondary to the graveyards. And this is the biggest problem, I think, in Alterac Valley, even though people are listening more now than they used to. It's really a problem, our lack of comprehension of graveyards. The idea that you kill someone and they spawn is foreign to everyone. I don't understand why that is, but that's the case. Alright, so Vorthus decides to go forward and fight, and I'm fine with that, even though we might lose our position a little bit. We're still slowing them down significantly here. We're trying to just stall the Alliance that spawned their first spawn while the defense continues to purge the Alliance from south of Icewing. And I'm feeling pretty good about our defensive position, although I kind of want to get back there. So I do this thing where I actually run forward and get them to dismount and slow down while I get respawned back at Iceblood Graveyard. So Iceblood is the other important pass. You can see that Iceblood Tower is under attack. This is a critical pass that you can actually hold off the Alliance here forever and win the game. If you cap the 2 bunkers, which we haven't quite yet, but what's happened here is the defense has successfully attacked all the south, and all they're doing now is cleaning them up out of the base. They're actually going south. I can see this on the map, and so I'm like, alright, I'm going to make sure and keep the Alliance from getting south at all. So I make sure and grab Snowfall Graveyard, which there's still a strategy being talked about, which Snowfall is somehow bad. It's ridiculous. Every single point on the map you want to own and possess, and this is no exception, because you don't want Alliance spawning in 2 different places, causing us to require 2 different forces at the passes, or just constantly having to defend towers, because that honestly falls apart pretty quick. The Horde is really starting to unify, and this is important. So I run back just to help out. I see nobody here at mid. That's okay, we have plenty of time on these towers. There's just only a few alliance left at this point, and I'm aware of that. I'm conscious of the number of bodies that are south of Icewing. And I know that as long as we clean them up right here, Iceblood Graveyard, root this guy, say, no, you can't get past south, I can essentially account for all 40 alliance. And I check this pass just to make sure we're cool. Continuing to give orders to clean up Field of Strife, just get any stragglers. And the Horde is starting to come north again from base. And I'm trying to say, hey, come up here and help us out. Let's go. We've almost got this. The opener is almost complete. No broccoli, you're not getting away. So yeah, they're even attacking Snowfall, which I can see. I might want to help there, but I think Icewing is much more critical right now as their waves start respawning. So here we go. I'm like, oh yeah, this is nice. So the Horde has really gotten this position right here, and it's a beautiful spot to be in. It's so easy to defend, to AOE, and now the Alliance is in big trouble. And I think this battle is where they break. And now at this point, the Horde is realizing that we have everything south of Icewing, and there's no alliance there. And it's like, wow. And so I'm saying, dude, let's push. You know, we don't have a full force yet, but they're starting to, you know, accumulate and catch up. And what you'll see here is the Horde force begin to just grow and grow and grow, and the alliance become less and less together. And we just AoE them down here and win the game. You know, it's a grind. It's a grind, but it's really, I think, the most efficient grind. And what you'll see that we just want to finish the game as quickly as possible. We know we've won, but you know, now it's a matter of time. You know, how fast can we complete the game? So I'm just going to go over some notes again while you can watch the game finish. Buff, get an appropriate spec, get on the gate. A small force attack Stonehearth Graveyard. Hold Iceblood Pass, Icewing Bunker as long as you can. But the Graveyard is the most important thing, just to stop it so that they're all spawning at Stormpike. Defense, defend Galv, recap towers. I know it's going to take a little time to clean the Alliance out, but that's what you got to do. And offense's job is to hold Icewing Pass until defense can catch back up. Basically, Icewing Pass, Stonehearth, or a Snowfall Graveyard, Field of Strife, Stonehearth Bunker. That's what offense's job in the opener is. The opener is successful. The defense should catch up with the Horde, form a full force, and win the game. There is an example of total victory where you can push to Stormpike. Alliance is not so great at Stormpike defense. One thing is, here's an example, is that you really want to make sure and fight on this side of the bridge. If the Alliance understands they can fight you on the other side, you're going to have some trouble. Or on the bridge. I've tried stealth techniques to try to get north and south bunker. Those don't seem to work too well anymore. But you want to cap these north and south bunkers. Hold them. At the very least, it's going to cause the Alliance to pull off forces to deal with this. Sometimes at this stage in the game, the Alliance will have formed another kind of unit. south of Icewing, maybe you know, 8 or 10 or 12 players, and they can cause a lot of problems. They'll just go through and just take the towers, but they're a little slow, and they're too slow at this point. But it doesn't hurt to sometimes just hole up in the base and hold that pass. You can really hold the relief hut spot forever if you're coordinated and people are actually defending the towers. That's another way to grind out a win. If the opener doesn't quite go as smoothly as in this example, which mostly is the result of people not playing defense adequately or just misunderstanding matchups. Sometimes you'll see a 5-person pre-made that's wrecking like we are. You need to recognize that and just hit them with 2 versus 1 like a good team. Which happens, you know, organically. I feel like you have to let Alterac Valley be a little organic. I don't recommend yelling at players like I do, honestly, unless you really know what's going on, because people don't listen. And in this example, they started to listen once they realized they were winning. We had some victories early. And honestly, I think the morale of the whole game changes if you can get Stonehearth Graveyard, and there's no excuse for Horde not to get it. I think if the Alliance, I don't understand right now, the Alliance might figure out the counter to this, which is to send a good solid force to defend Stonehearth Graveyard. And that might happen one day, but you know, if there's one thing that's consistent about the Alliance is they zerg mindlessly. They zerg to lumber mill. They zerg to mid. They zerg to gal. Whatever. They just zerg. And sometimes that's really powerful and hard to deal with, but other times like they don't know what to do when they lose, when they're losing. And it's hard for them to communicate, hey, defend Stonehearth Graveyard because we need this. Because I don't think the Alliance understands that they need it. And I don't think the Horde understands that if they take it, the game is much more likely to win. You can still lose if they have 8 healers and you have 3. There's nothing you can do about it, period. If Horde's DPS is completely terrible, you know, don't stress it. It's not always strategy. Sometimes it's just bad matchups. But you shouldn't be losing to a lack of understanding the game. You should be conscious of the mechanics of the game and how it works. Towers are worth points. Graveyards are critical. Graveyards are where people spawn. CC healers. Get your Frostwolf Insignias, people. If you don't know what that is a trinket that will teleport you back to the base. That is something that I never see people do anymore. I think they just don't even realize that exists. Go get your Frostwolf Insignia. I think in the future, they're going to have to buff Van again because I think more guilds are going to be able to just roll in, take north and south bunker, kill them, and then just kill the boss. That seems possible. We could get back into a Zergfest strategy again, which changes some things. But right now, Galv is a beast, and they're still attacking Galv. Belinda and Galv have so much health, and that's actually a problem. You got to be careful when you attack Bal, because you have to understand it's going to take you a long time, which means the other side is going to have time to accumulate a force. So I find it's a little difficult to know when to attack Bal. I think when the Horde reunites after the opener, instead of pushing onto Stormpike like we did in this match, you know, you can just stop and kill Belinda, I think that happened in this game. I'm actually not sure when Melinda fell. But yeah, the alliance is broken here. They're still trying, but boy, oof, look at those starfalls. Wow. Yeah. Starting to push across the bridge here, but whatever. We have Stormpike. Just a grind fest. But hey, 466, 465 to 0, I'll take it. I encourage the Horde, man, when they do something right, you gotta explain to them why. Top damage represent. Boomkins. That's our one thing we can do is top damage in an AV. Thanks for listening.